What's up guys, Bo here again, and welcome to another Bojan vlog. How you all doing? In this entry, I'm actually going to get a bit personal. So, there's no real kind of teaching, that I usually do in these entries. Rather, I just felt a bit melancholy, and I decided to put it in an entry, basically. Anyway, yeah, I'm a bit awkward, but so the gist of it is that my life is changing very soon. I've been talking about how I'm so awkward right now. But yeah, I've been talking about how I was kind of moving towards doing what I love, essentially, and that is the message that I have on this entry. It is to move boldly and with confidence and love towards that which you love, because life is far too short to waste. It's not even about, oh, you should do this, or like, I don't know, like, there's no right way to live life, from an objective sense, But your life is yours, and you only have one of it, as yourself. And so you shouldn't ever feel trapped. If ever you feel trapped, it's a sign that, you're wasting your life, essentially, and that you should move to, you should have a think about what it is you truly want to do in this life. But having said that, my life is changing very soon. So I mentioned in previous entries that I'm quitting my job. And just, I guess for the sake of confidentiality or whatever it might be. Honestly, it's not really that big a deal, but like I've chosen basically to keep the identity of my job a secret. But I've been working this job since April. I started training for this job in March of 2015. April 2015 was when I started doing this job, and now it's November 2016. So I've been in this job for like a year and a half. And the year and a half that I've been in this job has been crazy, to say the least. I was working in like a crappy bar. I was like a bartender, which is crazy to me. But like, I was a bartender for like 3 months or something, if that. And as soon as the opportunity to work my current job came up, like I was really happy because like I could I didn't have to work in a shitty bar anymore. But like, yeah, I've been working this job and like I say, it's been crazy, like it's by far the best job I've ever worked at. It's in retail, basically I've essentially been working in retail. And it is, compared to the jobs that I've had in the past, I worked many jobs, actually. I worked in construction. Give me 1 second. I know it's ruining the mood, but like my camera's about to die, so. This is what happens when you don't prepare. When you kind of do like an entry on the whim. But come on, don't die, don't die. Okay, sweet. There we go. I should have just done this, but you know, once again. Right, so where was I? So yeah, I've been into construction. I've been in retail before. I worked in an office as a broker, an insurance broker. I've done telephone fundraising before, although like that was during my uni time, so it was kind of like this mini job thing. And yeah, you know, I've worked in quite a few jobs in the past. Like I mentioned, I was a bartender for a while. And this job was by far the best job I've ever had. Right. But having said that, you know, it was also one of the most difficult jobs I've ever had. You know, like I haven't had to work as hard as I have had to work in this job. You know, in any of my other jobs. So like, you know, this job was probably the most grueling in that sense. You know, to give you a bit of an idea, like I'm contracted 15 hours in this job, my current job, but I've worked as many as 40 in a week, you know, and the time, what was I saying? Yeah. In any case, I'm not going to kind of go into too much detail in this entry, but yeah, it is what it is. You know, I'm sure many of you watching this, I say many, but whoever is watching this, like, you know, thank you for watching my videos. You know, I'm just some random guy, really, who talks into a camera, like many other people, I'm sure, but, you know, but if you do watch my videos on the regular, or even at all, then you have my gratitude, basically. You have my thanks. I really appreciate it. But yeah, but and the reason I'm doing this entry is basically because I'm feeling a bit sad that I'm leaving my job. Sorry, it's taking like 9 minutes to say this essentially, but yeah, I'm feeling a bit sad. Like I haven't really been feeling sad up until this point because I've been kind of so looking forward that my life was changing. You know, I was so fixated on, you know, the kind of the image I had in my head of like, you know, oh man, I'm so excited that like once I get the breathing room I need, which is what is essentially happening in my life, I can really start to do what it is that I love and really start to make headway and progress in that area and really start to live my life finally after 28 years of, you know, distractions essentially. I can finally live a life that is right for me, you know. I was so fixated on that, and it wasn't until today I'm leaving my job officially on Wednesday. It wasn't until today, which is 2 days before that day, that I'm starting to feel like a little sad. And I thought that I would capture that in this entry, basically. And it's not often that I feel this way, you know. Most of the time most of the time I'm actually pretty happy, you know. Like, I have times when I feel down, depressed, even sometimes a bit despairful, you know. Like, I think about like how shitty society is. And that's the basis for my videos a lot of the time. Like, I'm like, oh man, like, you know, this, I have to complain about this. But to be honest with you, like, I'm actually pretty happy most of the time when I think about it. I'm quite appreciative of a lot of the things I have in life, and like, even the kind of harsh times that come up in life, I'm grateful for at the end of the day, because I know that it's all part of this wonderful experience that is called life, you know. Even when it's really hard, I know that at some point I can look back and be like, I'm glad that I went through that. Because now, you know, from a spiritual perspective, you know, like, it gives you the context to it. Like, it offers contrast. All of the painful times in your life, they offer you the contrast that is necessary to really enjoy when life is at its best, when life is really, really good. And this is one of those times where I've essentially worked really hard, had my face like next to the curb or the grindstone, and I've worked really, really hard in this job I've had. And for that to finally, that this part of my life to finally be over, like, I'm a bit sad. You know, like, I'm happy, but I'm also sad, you know. I'm sad because this is the first job that I've ever really, like, cared about the job, you know. It's a bit bittersweet, I guess you could say, because there have been some really, really tough times working this job. You know, like I say, I've worked 40-hour weeks when I'm only contracted 15. It's in a retail environment, so like, when it's been stressful, it's been really, really, like, particularly this weekend. Although, like, to be honest, I've had tougher weekends. I've had tougher times, but like, this weekend was Black Friday, so, you know, like, it was kind of like ongoing onslaught at work. And when it's been stressful, it's been really stressful, you know, and I've had to do a lot in this job, you know. But part of the reason for that, even despite the times where I've just hated it, essentially, you know, like, there are just times when I've just hated it, and like, and it's just been like, why am I working so hard in this job, you know. Like, it's just, sometimes it's just been exhausting, you know, and stressful. And it's left me, like, just in a state, really, you know, because when I look back at the videos I did, like, in my early days of this vlog, like 2014, like, I looked so healthy. But like, you might have noticed, like, you know, some of the videos kind of in the 2015 era, like, you know, I've just looked not so great, and that's because of, like, you know, stress, essentially. Stress and that kind of thing. Just being drained from working so hard. But in spite of that, another part of the reason that I look back on why I work so hard in this job is because I actually cared for once in my life about the job. And it's never happened before, because I've never been, like, competent enough. When I started working, at the end of 2010, just fresh out of university, like I was a shambles, you know? Like, in my first retail job that I had, like, I was so bad. I was like a Christmas temp. And they were glad. I knew that they were glad that I was leaving at the end of Christmas. I even phoned up to ask for a job, and they were like, they politely did it, but like, you know, they were like, nah, we don't want you back, basically. I did so badly in that job, you know, I was like, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. Um, you know, it was bad, but like, after many jobs and a lot of basically like slap in the face, you know, like you're in a real world kid now. Like in this job, like I actually did quite well, did really well actually, and the people, my colleagues, like they, you know, they appreciate me, you know, and there's been more than a couple of them, if not all of them, that have expressed that they're going to be really sad to see me leave, and that they really appreciated me as a person, or as a colleague rather, I should say. Um, and I'm sad about it right now because you know I miss it. You know, it's like it's a place I've worked at, and like again, also it was I've been in this workplace since it was built actually. Like it was a new outlet, and I was among one of the first, the original team to start there, and so like I have a lot of kind of memories of just basically being there since the very beginning and like helping it grow to where it is now. And like out of the original team, only me and two other people remain. You know, there have been people who have come, but like the team that exists now is mainly people who joined this year, and they're all new people. But like I'm one of the, you know, the veterans, if you will, of this job, and I've had many memories there. You know, when you really, this is coming from someone who hasn't really tried a lot in life. You know, I kind of waltzed my way through school, and not in a good sense most of the time. You know, like I guess in a way I'm kind of gifted at academics because sure as hell I didn't try. Like I really didn't try. Like obviously there were times when like when I crammed, and I just about got into my university of choice. You know, but like you know I got a 2-2 in university, and that's not necessarily because the course was hard. You know, it was hard. You know, I went to a top university, as it were, but like I didn't try, and that's why I got like a middle of the road grade. And I think part of that is also because one of my invigilators was, or one of the people who was grading my dissertation or whatever, you know, felt sorry for me. You know, I feel that she gave me extra credit. Otherwise, I would have gotten like a third or something, because I just really didn't try. But this was the first time in my life that I tried at something, and I have to be honest. Like I think a lot of that comes from discovering myself and doing work on myself and understanding why I'm here on this earth. If I hadn't done this, if I hadn't gone through my spiritual awakening, if I hadn't become a hermit for so many years of my life, you know, I would never have fostered the strength, the inner strength within me to try so hard and to care so much about what I'm doing, whatever that might be. You know, to be responsible and reliable. When I was 20 something, just freshly graduated from university, I didn't see myself as a reliable person at all. If anything, reliability was, or reliable was probably the word that was the least descriptive of who I was. I was not reliable. I was listless. I had no direction. Like, I had no opinions of my own. People, like the friends around me would look at me and be like, yeah, he's not a reliable guy. He's a fun guy to be around, like he's nice and everything, but he's not reliable. Going from that to now someone who, like, my colleagues look up to me as a valued member of the team and a friend in I dare say, in the sense of like just someone that they can kind of have a bit of banter with. It's crazy. And it's what is possible. It's an example of what is possible if you work on yourself, essentially. But yeah, I'm sad to kind of let it go. At the same time, I am hopeful for the future, because I know that, like, what I'll be doing from now on will not only be a greater reflection of who I am as a person, who I truly am, but also I'm hoping that it will be able to contribute a lot more to people in general. But anyway, I'm not going to drag this entry on too much, because it could very well be me just spilling my guts and spilling out what's in my heart, and how crappy I'm feeling, like, how sad I'm feeling, just like for a long time. But just, I guess, when you feel that pain of loss, and again, I don't feel this very often, probably because of who I am and the kind of personality I have, which is like very kind of like flighty, and lonerish, but like, when you commit to something and then you have to let it go, even if you don't plan to, because having a job was never my plan, was never my choice. If I had a choice, I would never work a job, but like, I just had to, because I have no money and you have to survive in this world, where money is king, at the moment anyway, But when you really commit to something and it's time to go, when you feel sad and the pain of loss comes up, but when the pain of loss comes up, savor it, because it's another experience in life that you can take away with you. And you can make it mean, like many people do, I guess, who haven't had the opportunity. Because not everyone has the opportunity to do this, what I'm doing, and whoever is watching this is doing, Not everyone gets the opportunity to work on themselves. Not everyone is inclined that way, A lot of people, they just want to live a simple life of comfort and security. And though I might berate their life choices indirectly, because I am not someone who lives like that or could live like that, that's fine. That's just them. I have no right to tell anyone how to live their lives. I really don't. And the more that I've been on my journey, the more I realize that like, everyone's on their own journey, and like, sometimes we clash and sometimes we have our skirmishes, but we should all respect each other. And I want to respect whoever, because I know that they are a gift of God. We are all sons and daughters of the cosmos, and we each deserve the respect that garners. But it was never the plan, but I did it. And I I put some serious effort into it, serious energy. I put part of my personality into it, you know. The main reason why I've enjoyed this this job has been the best job I've ever had is because it's a job where I've been the most myself. And that isn't necessarily due to the job itself, although like I have to say like the people I've worked with are some of the best people I've ever worked with in a job as well. That's another reason. And that's part of the reason, but like another reason is, like I say, it's because I worked on myself leading up to this job. So like I was more comfortable with who I was, you know, like I didn't do the whole kind of hiding my personality like as much as I did in my previous jobs and in life in general. But like, you know, through all of these years of self-discovery and self-work, like, you know, I've learned to be more of who I truly like, to be more comfortable in my own skin, basically. And I think that really showed in this job, you know, and that's why it was good when it was, you know, it was great when it was. So we all feel things, we all experience things. You know, I'm sure there are many people who are experiencing worse things than me. But at the end of the day, you know, you can take your experiences with pain, and even that's fine. You know, I can't deny the fact that like there's a bit of pain associated with losing things, but you know, you can let that. Another way, a better way of saying this is, you know, it's what I teach in these videos. You know, it is owning and moving forwards, like the entry. You know, the entry I made about that. You know, that's how you live life. Is, you know, things will happen to you. You know, but as long as you have a direction and you keep moving forwards towards that destination, you'll be fine. And when the pain of loss comes up, because it will, you know, that experience will come up. When you're sad, you know, leaving and losing the things that you once had, you know, savor it and be grateful for it. And of course, be grateful for it sounds like a command, but basically, it's a choice we all have to feel the pain and everything, and be like, thank you, life, thank you for giving me this. You know, it is a treasured memory, if anything else, if nothing else, rather. And so, I'm sad, but I'm also excited for the future. You know, great things will happen soon. You know. Oh man, I'm so looking forward. But yeah, I guess this has kind of been an update in my life. This is what's happening right now. In terms of this vlog channel, you know, I'm gonna keep doing it, of course. But like I have a new idea coming up, and I'm not gonna spoil the surprise for you. But like, we'll see what happens. You know, when I do it. I'm also starting a music channel soon. So music is going to be my next area of focus. You know, probably for the next few years, I'm going to be like really seriously pursuing music. So like I'm going to be starting a new music channel soon, and when I do, I'll announce it on this channel as well. So check it out. You know, I have some great ideas for that as well. I also have a gaming channel. So for any of you who might be gamers yourselves, you know, like, check it out if you want. You know, it's linked to this channel in my related channels. Bojinjin Plays. You know, that's another thing that I'll be doing. And there's so many things that like I'm going to have the time to do now, and I'm so excited. So, you know, I can only thank all of you guys for being there with me. You know, I still have a few things I need to sort out. Truth be told, like my social phobia, you know. And I guess this is the first time since my entry about like wearing a social mask and everything that I'm coming out with this, like, and giving it a label. But like, I'm a bit, I'm a bit scared of people, and that's one of the problems that like I need to kind of sort out. But I'm hopeful, I have a plan in place, and like I'm gonna work on it. So, hopefully I can overcome this, and be more open with people, and be more trusting of people, and let more people in my life, even the people watching this. So cool. Thank you so much for watching this. If you did watch it all the way through, it was a very personal video, and I appreciate you watching this and kind of listening to my story, as it were. So cool. Hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you guys are also moving forwards towards your dream. And if you are feeling sad for any reason, then I'm with you. So cool. Thank you very much for watching this, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next entry. I love you guys very much. Peace out.